In Perek Chavdal Posik Beis, so it says, "Vayisa Bilam es Eino V'Eretz Yisrael Shochem Lishvotav V'Atiyal Avruach Elokim." So Rashi here says, famous Rashi is always quoted, "Shochem Lishvotav Ra Kol Shevet V'Shevet Shochem L'Atzvo." He saw every Shevet by itself. Ve'inan Me'uravin Ra She'in Pischein Mechuvanim Zeh Keneged Zeh. He saw that their entrances weren't facing each other. So this is often cited as the Raya. What was Bilam impressed with? He was so impressed with Klal Yisrael that their entrances didn't face each other. They built their tents in the way that there would be privacy. Now, if you stop and think about it, a person who has let's say you have a large bay window in your living room. Your neighbor breaks a wall and then builds a bay window facing your bay window. So most people, if you'd ask them, are you bothered by that? So most people would be bothered. People don't want people looking in your house, watching you, you can't walk around in your pajamas or play with your smartphone, which you don't want people to know that you do, or anything else that you do in your house, eating hechsherim, which are maybe they're okay, maybe they're not okay. You don't want people invading your privacy. That's a rule in life. So Bilam looks and he looks at Klal Yisrael and he's so impressed by the way they've set up their tents, and most understand it as an Indian of tznius. It's the tznius of Klal Yisrael, which is certainly true. But if you look at Rashi, the Rashi takes it really a step further, because Rashi says that their entrances weren't facing each other. That everybody quotes, but there's an end part of Rashi. Rashi says that shelo yotzitz l'soch ol chavero, that he shouldn't look into the other guy's tent. If you obey religiously the translation of Rashi, it says that he shouldn't look into the other guy's tent. That means that according to the Rashi quoting Chazal, the concern wasn't as much that you shouldn't look into my tent as much as that Chas v'Shalom I shouldn't accidentally look into your tent or intentionally look into your tent. So that means that Klal Yisrael were concerned not to look into each other's tents, not that you're invading my privacy. I don't want to invade your privacy. A guy like Bilam, so Mitzad Echad, there's the tznius, of course. Mitzad Sheni, it's much deeper than that. Bilam has every midah ra. He's got every bad midah. Kina, taiva, kavod, ayin ra, ra, gavoha, nefesh, rechava. He's got every bad midah known to man. All bad midos are rooted in the tendency of looking at other people. You look at what this one's got, you're jealous. It triggers off an idea for he's getting that covet, I should get that covet. He's got that taiva, that pleasure in life. I would also like that pleasure. And certainly jealousy, which is the hardest trait to overcome, that it eats the kishkes out. That's what a person's kishkes are eaten out because somebody else has something he doesn't have it. A Bilam lives with his face in somebody else's house all the time. He's always looking in people's tents. He's looking in their physical tents. He's looking at what's going on in their lives. That's how he decides what he wants in his life. So when a Bilam is impressed by seeing the entrances not facing each other, what he's really impressed by is, and what I don't know if he's impressed as much as he's bewildered by, how could a person live with this concern of shelo yotzitz l'soch chavero? His whole life is yotzitz l'soch chavero. His whole life is looking again and looking at the other guy. So when a Bilam sees this, a Bilam is completely taken by the kedusha of Klal Yisrael, not just the tznius. And again, the tznius here is very, very difficult because if the entrances are facing each other, it's not an Indian of tznius, because most people, the tents, I'm sure in the desert, they didn't all sleep in one room. So they had sub-rooms. The tent, if you look at my entrance into your entrance, it's a living room into a living room. It's not private bedrooms into bedrooms. They're talking about a living room into a living room. There's very little unsneus going on there. What Bilam is impressed by, in top of all that, is the idea of what we call privacy. Privacy meaning, I have my Daled Amos physically, I have my Daled Amos in Ruchnias. You have your Daled Amos in Ruchnias. And a person has to know that the same thing applies in Ruchnias as well. This is a malady that is suffered by many. A person in Ruchnias looks at somebody else and says, wow, what they call Kinas Sofrim. Kinas Sofrim Tarba Chochma. Kinas Sofrim, looking at the other guy's achievement in Ruchnias, is only Kinas Sofrim if the result is the person looking is motivated to then accomplish in a healthy way. If the Kinas Sofrim, what we call Kinas Sofrim, causes a person to compete in an unhealthy way, or causes a person to get depressed because he can't keep up with somebody else and push himself in a way that's not suitable to his personality and his capabilities and his talents, then that's no longer kina sofra, it's just plain kina. And therefore Bilam, a Bilam who lives his life with kina, he's the ultimate example of an unhealthy ruchni person. Whereas a person who looks at somebody else and says, well, if he is growing, if she is more tznius, I want to be tznius like her. And if he's more learning more, and if he's guarding his mouth, and he's involved in that sort of avodas Hashem, and I want to do it and I apply it in a healthy way, that's already kinas sofra. If a person is looking at somebody else and focusing his avoda is his avoda. My avoda, I have to find out what my kochos are nefesh are. That's what I have to apply. That's my avodas Hashem.